the narrative coming out of this game is, well, Indiana shouldn't have even been there in the first place, that the college football playoff committee needs to take a long and hard look at the strength of schedule and who you play and who you beat. Is that fair coming out of this game? Is that the right narrative?
It's a ludicrous narrative. The argument that I'm hearing on social right now is that the committee should have left out an 11-1 Big Ten team that has the number one scoring margin in the country, the number one or two scoring offense, and the number one rush defense in the country. That's what people are throwing out there. You make the playoff for what you do before Selection Sunday. What happens after Selection Sunday doesn't dictate whether you should have been in the playoff or not. So any talk about Indiana not deserving to be in the playoff, I think, is crazy. And listen, Indiana didn't play their best today, and I think they played one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the country. I think they played a team in Notre Dame that's going to play the national championship game. So, listen, Indiana deserved to be here. Let's not take anything away from what Indiana did in one of the more remarkable turnarounds in 1 year that we've seen in recent college football history. And the season that Curtis Rourke had and what Kirk Cinetti did in year 1 flipping that roster. It was incredible. But Indiana needed Curtis Rourke to be at his very best to win this game, and they didn't get his very best. Indiana also needed their defense and their tackling to be at their very best to have a chance in this game. They were not good. They certainly weren't their best, and ultimately that's what led to Notre Dame blowing them out.
I do wonder how much that narrative about Indiana, and there's all great points by you, Adam. I do wonder how much that narrative about Indiana may change if Notre Dame has a very similar defensive performance against Georgia that they did tonight. Because Indiana all season long has been averaging 43 points a game. They put up, 17 against Notre Dame. They've been averaging 440 yards per game. They put up 275 against Notre Dame. They've been terrific on third down. They've been just around 50% on third down. They were 4 of 12 on third down. I think that's partly Indiana just being overmatched. And a massive part of that is Notre Dame's defense is so much better than I think the general public of college football fans gives them credit for, because they haven't been doing it on a national stage against top 25, top 15, top 10 teams on a week in, week out basis. If Notre Dame's able to do that against Georgia, which, look, we've seen good defenses limit what Georgia can do offensively, especially if they're without their starting quarterback, Carson Beck. If Notre Dame goes out and limits Georgia to 17 points and 275 yards like they did against Indiana, maybe, just maybe, probably not, because some people just like to hate, but maybe, just maybe, the narrative turns and it's just Notre Dame's actually a really good football team.